One of the other slogans that the Australian government has used a lot is talking about Team Australia. But their Team Australia is about excluding the poor, the vulnerable, the Muslims, the refugees. And so we're very pleased to have here today Lydia Shelly, who has done a lot of tireless work for the Islamophobia Register, which unfortunately had to be set up to deal with the abuse that the Muslim community has suffered as a consequence of the way in which they have been labelled by the Australian government. So please welcome Lydia.
Before I begin, I'd like to acknowledge the Aboriginal ancestors, both past and present, and acknowledge the ongoing and systematic oppression of the Indigenous people. This has and always will be Aboriginal land. And being Indigenous is not a lifestyle decision. It is not a lifestyle choice. What we're talking about today is really the common core of humanity. All humanity shares a hunger for peace, for security, for fellowship, and for justice. However, in 2015, we are facing the moral bankruptcy of our country. 2015 must be the year where we decide as a people where we want our country to go. We must decide as a people what values are truly reflective of the Australian spirit. In the last few days, we have seen a Muslim family verbally abused on public transport in front of their children. We've also seen the attack and burning down of a mosque on a Friday, which is one of the holy days for Muslims, and that's the main day that they pray. So they awoke to find that their mosque had been burnt down. We have a rising amount of hate in this country that is being whipped up by a certain somebody who I think we all know his name. It's like Voldemort, he shall not be named. It's being whipped up and it's having real life consequences, not only on the social fabric of our country, but on Australian Muslim women. In 2015, it's distressing that we are in a country where women do not feel safe to leave their homes. We are in a country in 2015 where Australian Muslim women do not feel safe enough to partake in some of the amazing things that our country has to offer. They are making the choice to withdraw from social situations because they are fearful of what may happen to them and their children. We have had children who have witnessed their mothers' scarves being ripped off, their mothers being pushed to the ground, their bones have been broken. We have seen children who have witnessed their mothers having hot coffee thrown in their faces, being intimidated and harassed on the streets. We have seen numerous cases of Islamophobia. It is completely distressing to see not only the politicisation of refugees in this country, but the politicisation of Australian Muslim women. No one benefits when prejudice, when vilification, when discrimination towards any group is encouraged, and the fans of hatred and bigotry are inflamed in order to distract from unhelpful and divisive policies and leadership.